The fateful evening of June 29th. On June 29th, 1994, London held its breath for an evening that would forever change royal fashion history. That summer evening, as golden rays of the setting sun danced across the facades of Victorian mansions in Kensington, the Serpentine Gallery prepared for one of the season's most significant social events. Vanity Fair's charity gala dinner promised to showcase Britain's elite, but no one could have imagined this night would become a defining moment in fashion legend. Before we begin, please share your city in the comments. We're curious where royal luxury enthusiasts are watching from. And if you hit like and subscribe, that would be the best reward for our small channel. The Serpentine Gallery, nestled in the heart of Kensington Gardens, wasn't chosen by chance. This temple of contemporary art, surrounded by centuries-old oak trees and perfectly manicured lawns, created the ideal backdrop for bringing together royalty with the worlds of high culture and philanthropy. Its proximity to Kensington Palace added special symbolic weight. Here, just steps from royal chambers, one of the most dramatic scenes in British monarchy history was about to unfold. The evening's atmosphere was thick with tension. London's press had spent months buzzing with rumors about the crisis in Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage. Tabloids competed to publish stories about the heir's allegedly renewed relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, his longtime childhood friend. The royal palace maintained official silence, but insiders whispered about an approaching storm that could shake the very foundations of the modern monarchy. In this charged atmosphere, every public appearance by royal family members became subject to intense scrutiny. Journalists and society photographers gathered outside the gallery entrance hours before the event began, hoping to catch the slightest nuances in behavior and appearance of the royal figures. None of them suspected they would witness the birth of one of the most iconic looks in royal style history. The Serpentine Gallery's interiors that evening were decorated with Vanity Fair's characteristic sophistication. Fresh flowers, white orchids, and ivory roses created an elegant backdrop for the evening dedicated to supporting young artistic talent. Crystal chandeliers softly illuminated contemporary artworks, while impeccably set tables awaited their distinguished guests. The entire setting seemed to foretell the arrival of a true queen of the evening, but few could guess exactly how she would appear before the stunned audience. The story of the dress that would later revolutionize royal fashion began long before that memorable evening. In 1991, Princess Diana discovered the work of talented Greek designer Christina Stambolian, whose name was just beginning to resonate in London's fashion elite circles. Stambolian, born in Greece but finding recognition in the British capital, was renowned for creating dresses that emphasized a woman's natural beauty without hiding it behind excessive decorative elements. The princess's meeting with the designer happened during a period of creative exploration. Diana, always drawn to collaborating with emerging talents, was charmed by Stambolian's philosophy of seeing each woman as a unique individual deserving of a personalized approach. We sat down and I sketched several designs on paper, the designer later recalled, of that fateful moment. In those simple lines drawn by a master's light hand, the contours of future legend were already visible. Creating the dress became a true dialogue between artist and muse. Stambolian proposed bold solutions, short length, bare shoulders, fitted silhouette, but the princess hesitated. Raised in royal etiquette traditions, Diana understood such an outfit might draw palace disapproval. The dress was revealing, quite short, and showed quite a lot. Legs, cleavage, arms, the designer admitted. The princess wanted something more modest, more traditional for the heir's wife. But Stambolian was convinced her vision was right. Why not be bold, she insisted, seeing in Diana a woman capable of much more than conventions dictated. The designer especially admired the princess's legs and considered it criminal to hide such beauty under long skirts. "You have beautiful legs and you should show them," she repeated, trying to convince her noble client of the need for a more revealing look. Even the color choice became a philosophical debate between the future masterpiece's creators. Diana leaned toward cream, which seemed more suitable for daytime events and less provocative than deep black. However, Stambolian was categorical in her vision. For me, Diana was a black and white person. There were no gray shades in her. The designer saw in the princess a personality without halftones, bright and contrasting, capable of decisive actions and clear statements. Diana's aesthetic preferences during this period indeed gravitated toward a more romantic palette. I didn't like her pale pinks and blues with lots of beading, Stambolian honestly admitted. The designer saw potential in the princess for a more refined and sophisticated style that would emphasize her natural elegance rather than hide it behind decorative excess. After much consideration and consultation with close friends, Diana finally decided to experiment. Her brother supported the choice, and Prince Charles, according to the designer's recollections, told his wife, "Do what you think is right." This phrase, spoken in the context of choosing a dress, would acquire particular irony in light of subsequent events. The finished dress made from black damask silk with an asymmetrical chiffon skirt was indeed revolutionary by royal standards. However, when it was completed, the princess suddenly had second thoughts. The outfit seemed too bold, too provocative for the future king's wife. The dress was carefully packed and sent to Kensington Palace's extensive wardrobes, where it spent 3 long years waiting for its starring moment among the princess's more traditional and conservative outfits. While Stambolian's black dress patiently awaited its moment in the royal wardrobe, a storm was brewing within Buckingham Palace walls that would soon unleash upon the entire British monarchy. By 1994, Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage had long become a beautiful facade, hiding deep personal contradictions and mutual estrangement. The press relentlessly monitored every gesture of the royal couple, trying to decipher the true state of their relationship. Prince Charles, heir to the throne and future head of the Anglican Church, found himself in an extremely delicate position. On one hand, he was bound by marital obligations and dynastic interests. On the other, longtime feelings for Camilla Parker Bowles, who had been part of his life long before Diana appeared on the royal scene. This internal struggle between duty and personal feelings created unbearable tension that couldn't remain unnoticed by household members, courtiers, or ultimately the public. By the early 1990s, rumors about the prince's renewed relationship with his childhood love had stopped being the exclusive domain of a narrow circle of insiders. Tabloids received increasingly credible information about secret meetings, phone conversations, and correspondence between Charles and Camilla. The scandal was gaining momentum, threatening the entire royal family's reputation and undermining the monarchy's authority in the eyes of the British people. In these circumstances, the prince's advisors decided on drastic measures to save his public image. They developed a strategy of open dialogue with the people through mass media, an approach extremely untraditional for the British royal family, which had for centuries adhered to the principle of never complain, never explain. However, the situation demanded exceptional measures. Respected journalist Jonathan Dimbleby, known for his correctness and professionalism, was chosen to conduct this unprecedented interview. The conversation was planned as a 2-hour program on ITV that would show Prince Charles in a new light, as a sincere, deeply feeling person capable of honest conversation with his subjects about his mistakes and experiences. On June 29, 1994, that very evening when the Vanity Fair charity dinner was to take place at the Serpentine Gallery, Prince Charles sat before television cameras in the homely library setting of his residence. The interior was carefully chosen: bookshelves, family portraits, comfortable armchair. Everything was meant to create an atmosphere of confidential conversation rather than an official statement. The first part of the interview proceeded relatively smoothly. The prince spoke about his duties, future reign plans, and charitable activities. Jonathan Dimbleby masterfully steered the conversation toward the most painful topic, giving the prince a chance to prepare for the revelation that would change British monarchy history. When the fateful question about marital fidelity was asked, tense silence filled the studio. Prince Charles, apparently wrestling with internal conflict, paused for what seemed like an eternity to viewers. Then he spoke the phrase that instantly circled the globe. "I remained faithful until our marriage ceased to be viable for both of us." This admission was like thunder from a clear sky. For the first time in British monarchy history, the heir to the throne publicly acknowledged marital infidelity. The prince added with visible regret, "This causes deep sorrow, but these things happen. And unfortunately, in this case, it occurred." His words sounded like a death knell for a marriage the world once called the fairy tale of the century. While these revelations aired on television several kilometers from the studio at Kensington Palace, Princess Diana was preparing for an appearance that would forever change her place in fashion history and show the world the power of feminine dignity in the face of public humiliation. During those critical hours when Prince Charles's confessions were broadcast live throughout Britain, a completely different drama was unfolding in Kensington Palace chambers. Princess Diana, who had learned about the interview's content beforehand, was experiencing one of the most painful moments of her life. The woman who once entered marriage as a 19-year-old girl full of romantic illusions about a royal fairy tale now stood before a mirror realizing her private life would become known to millions of television viewers. The princess's emotional state during those hours was close to despair. Butler Paul Burrell, one of the few people with access to Diana's private chambers, later recalled the atmosphere of shock and confusion that reigned in the residence. She said, "I can't go. I can't face the world knowing what Charles just said." He conveyed the princess's words. Her voice carried notes of desperation from a woman who felt betrayed not only as a wife, but as a public figure whose reputation was sacrificed for political interests. The thought of not appearing at the charity event at all was seriously considered by the princess. The prospect of meeting journalists, photographers, and society at a moment when the whole world would learn about her marriage's collapse seemed unbearable. "I have nothing suitable for such an evening," Diana said, referring not to the absence of beautiful dresses, but to the impossibility of finding an outfit that would match her inner state. It was at this critical moment that the devoted butler made a decision that changed the course of events. Paul Burrell went to the princess's extensive wardrobe, where among dozens of evening gowns from the world's leading couturiers hung that very black creation by Christina Stambolian. For 3 years, it had patiently awaited its moment, and now that moment had arrived. "I went to her wardrobe, pulled out Christina Stambolian's dress, and showed it to her," Burrell recounted. The princess's reaction to the butler's suggestion was mixed. Anna Harvey, stylist and close friend of Diana, later remembered, "Diana thought the dress wouldn't fit anymore because she bought it back in 1991. Over 3 years, the princess's figure could have changed, and the prospect of not fitting into the outfit at such a critical moment seemed like additional humiliation. However," Harvey insisted, "I said, try it on." The fitting process became a symbolic act of transformation. When the princess put on the black dress, an amazing metamorphosis occurred, not just external, but internal. She squeezed into it. "I zipped her up, and Diana looked like $1 million, the butler recalled with admiration. The dress fit perfectly, as if it had been created specifically for this moment of triumph of feminine dignity over circumstances. But choosing the dress was only the beginning of creating a look that would enter history. Every accessory was selected with special care. Every detail carried deep symbolic meaning. The princess's friend, Dr. James Colthurst, later spoke about her mood in those final minutes before going out. That day she was fed up because she was under fire from what she called the gray people. This criticism concerned her previous public appearances and charitable activities. The day before the Vanity Fair party, she said, "Oh, for goodness sake, here we go again," Colthurst remembered. It was then that he spoke words that perhaps influenced the princess's final decision. "You need to be defiant. Wear something that will really knock their socks off." These words became the catalyst for transforming a moment of despair into a triumph of self-assertion. The final minutes of preparation passed in an atmosphere of concentration and determination. The princess understood that her public appearance this evening would be not just a social outing, but a powerful statement about her own dignity and independence. She was preparing not only to show the world a beautiful dress, but to demonstrate that a royal woman could transform a moment of humiliation into a triumph of elegance and strength of spirit. When Princess Diana finally made her decision to appear in public, meticulous work began on every detail of a look that was to become not just a beautiful outfit, but a true manifesto. Every element of the ensemble was selected with surgical precision, for the princess understood perfectly. This evening, hundreds of camera lenses would be focused on her, and every detail of her appearance would become subject to close analysis by fashion critics and society observers worldwide. The central element of the look was undoubtedly the dress itself, Christina Stambolian's creation in noble black damask silk. The outfit's cut was revolutionary by royal standards. Completely bare shoulders created a daring contrast with the traditional covered silhouettes preferred by the royal family for official events. The length, significantly above the knee, was provocative by royal protocol standards, but it was precisely this boldness that made the look so memorable and symbolically rich. The asymmetrical draping of the chiffon skirt created remarkable dynamics. Even when stationary, the dress seemed alive, moving. This play of fabric symbolized the princess's inner state. Outwardly calm and restrained, she was experiencing a storm of emotions that found expression in every fold of the garment. The fitted top emphasized Diana's figure's grace, reminding the world that beneath royal regalia lived a real feeling woman. The color choice deserved special attention. Black in royal fashion is traditionally associated with mourning or the most solemn state ceremonies. In this case, black acquired multi-layered symbolism. It was mourning for a lost marriage in the color of strength, elegance, and mystery. The princess seemed to announce the end of one chapter of her life, but she did so not in a spirit of victimhood, but with royal dignity and unshakable grace. The massive sapphire choker drew particular attention, jewelry that became one of the most discussed elements of the entire look. This accessory wasn't chosen randomly. Camilla Parker Bowles often appeared in public wearing similar jewelry, and the choker choice became a subtle but clear reference to her rival. The princess seemed to say, "Look at the difference between us. Compare and draw your conclusions." The sapphire, traditionally symbolizing fidelity and wisdom, acquired ironic resonance in this context. Pearl earrings perfectly complemented the look, adding classic sophistication. Pearls, traditional jewelry of British aristocracy, created a connection with centuries-old traditions, reminding of the wearer's high status. Simultaneously, the gentle shimmer of pearls created a soft contrast with the main outfit's boldness, demonstrating the princess's character's multifaceted nature. Shoes by legendary Manolo Blahnik on elegant high heels were chosen not only for aesthetic reasons. The heel height visually lengthened the princess's legs, emphasizing the boldness of the dress's short length. These shoes became a symbol of confidence. A woman capable of spending an entire evening on such heels demonstrates not only physical endurance, but inner strength. However, the most provocative detail of the entire look was the bright red manicure. In the world of royal protocol, even nail polish colors regulated by strict rules. Traditionally, preference is given to neutral, barely noticeable shades. Red manicure became a screaming spot against the elegant blackness of the outfit, a color of passion and challenge that couldn't be ignored. Every gesture of the princess, raising a glass to her lips, shaking hands with guests, graceful hand movement, was emphasized by these bright accents. The hairstyle was also thought out to the smallest detail. The princess's famous cut, slightly tousled and natural, created an impression of light carelessness that contrasted with the thoughtfulness of the rest of the look. This seeming naturalness was actually the result of careful work by stylists who created the effect of a just-awakened beauty. The image of a woman so confident in herself, that she didn't need excessive effort to achieve perfection. Makeup was done in restrained tones, allowing attention to focus on the outfit's architecture and the princess's natural beauty. Light blush, emphasized but not overloaded eyes, natural lip shade. All this created the image of a woman who didn't need to hide behind cosmetics because her true beauty came from within. Even the absence of some traditional accessories was significant. The princess didn't wear white gloves, a mandatory element of royal evening attire, which emphasized the rebellious character of the entire look. A small black clutch completed the composition, demonstrating that true elegance doesn't need excess. The reaction was instant and unanimous. The hall literally froze when the princess crossed the gallery's threshold. Photographers worked with unprecedented enthusiasm, understanding the significance of what was happening. By 10 in the evening, it became obvious. Public attention had switched from the prince's interview to his wife's incredible image. Leading newspaper editorial offices that very night reconsidered their layouts, understanding that photographs of the princess would be more in demand than transcripts of the royal interview. The Sun journalists were first to christen the outfit the revenge dress, a term instantly picked up by colleagues and entered fashion terminology. International press reacted even more dramatically. Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and Elle competed to publish materials about the princess's new style. Fashion houses worldwide began creating interpretations of the famous look. Black dresses with bare shoulders became the season's hit. The look's influence on world fashion was colossal. The term revenge dress firmly entered the lexicon, denoting outfits for demonstrating superiority over circumstances. The princess proved how fashion could become a tool for emotional healing and social statement. In June 1997, the princess put 79 evening outfits up for auction at Christie's charity sale. In 2013, the revenge dress sold for £96,000 sterling, a record sum confirming its status as a fashion icon. Princess Diana forever changed perceptions of royal style, proving it could be not only ceremonial but deeply personal. Her revenge dress became a lesson in how a properly chosen outfit could transform a moment of pain into a triumph of elegance and dignity. This look continues to inspire women worldwide, reminding us of style's power as a language of self-expression.